So maybe you're like me and you feel like you're kind of late to the AI party and you're ramping up. It's kind of my situation here. I've been messing around with it, but I really haven't used AI that much to actually write code, because the stuff listening to people talk about it and all of the nonsense that people like Sam Altman and the dude who owns Nvidia and all like that, they're, oh my god, it's going to replace developers. It's not, but it's a great tool. And so in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I've been using Copilot to get work done, basically. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it, and let me show you how I go about building scripts. All right, here we are on my workstation, and kind of got things set up the way I'd normally be working. So let's clear this guy off, move him up. Boom. So this is a oh wow, just park it there for now. So what I want to do is we're going to work on a project that I just decided called Bones. But we'll do cd, we're in Bones, so we'll do code -n dot. So we're now in Visual Studio Code. Now, one of the things that I do, let me get a blank page brought up for me to work with. So the first thing that I'm going to do in my project is I'm going to create a file that I'm going to call requirements MD. And this is where we're going to tell Copilot what it is we're after. So let me go grab the prompt I was working on, and it will kind of spell out what I'm after. Give me just a sec, I'll bring it over so you can see. So when I'm working, I'll use OneNote to edit my prompt, and I'll get everything put together the way I want it. And this is more or less, this is okay. It's the way, in general, this is the way I do things. It explains. We'll have everything stored in a GitHub repo that we're going to pull in. So let's go ahead, we'll copy this over. Oops, that's not where I need it. So we'll just throw this out of the way now. Paste that in. Now, I need to go check GitHub Copilot. No, let's see, we'll just go to command. Specify init help. What I need to know is here. Yeah. Pilot. It's kind of cool that your grammar and punctuation don't have to be spot on. Really and truly, I think this is enough to get us going. So we'll go ahead and save requirements. And if I had more, I do hash requirement 2, hash requirement, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes I'll also like include NFRs at the head. I'll tell it, oh, you know what? We'll call it Bones. Bones will take you where at. So, I need to get Copilot know we're going to implement this in C#. I think we're on .NET 9. Be a console application. That should be good enough. I'm being a little slap. This is actually not too bad. A little quicker than I do it, but it's very much along the lines of what I normally do. So here's where the real work occurs. I'll bring Copilot or OneNote back over. We're going to go down. We'll go CP. Please read requirements.md if you have any questions. Before we start. So, pretty much, this is what if you wrote out and you had like a junior developer or somebody who's going to help you implement stuff. You do the same thing. You say, hey man, here's the user story that I've written or requirements and what I want you to build for me. Got any questions? Dude reads it over and comes back and asks you questions. We're doing the exact same thing to Copilot here. So we go Control V, hit enter. He takes off, reads it, and we're going. I was just looking around to see if make sure Camtasia is still recording all of this. So, got some questions. GitHub repo access. How okay, boom, boom. Constitution requirement mention copy into. Oops. See, caught me. I forgot, go through and I tell it all the stuff about copying into the GitHub directory. Kind of screwed up here because the Constitution, you only care about the Constitution if you're going to do SK. So I need to rewrite this. If the ST includes a project, configure use Copilot script, I will add custom. I think this is good. So basically, I'm going to say, hey, CP, this time I'm going to live down. The reason I go to OneNote and type my prompt first is I'm using a Corn keyboards and space is on my right hand and enter is on my left hand. But I've been typing for so long with the space bar where either finger can hit the space that I sometimes hit enter accidentally. I've gotten better about it as I've gotten more used to using these keyboards. But by first going to OneNote and building your prompt and editing it and making sure it's all correct and then copying it over, it just sets things up better for you. But in this case, we're going to live dangerously. CP, I have updated the requirements.md file. Please read it again and let me know if you have any questions. Same thing. And so I'll end up doing this cycle a couple of times. Eventually, Copilot comes back and starts asking the most insane questions. Like, it starts getting down to like, oh, do you want to put ACLs on these files and stuff like that? At that point, you're probably good. and you can go ahead and just start implementing it. So we're down to now 4 questions. Config file format. We'll just do a section here. Configuration. Like I said, we'll keep looping. We're getting close. I mean, he's getting down to some pretty picky stuff. It's interesting. I'm calling Copilot a he. It. So now Copilot's happy. It's giving me green boxes. It's all ready. It's cool. So there we go. What, we're 26 minutes in, so I'll edit some stuff out, but I'm looking at the little thing on my phone that's recording my lovely face. So off it goes. It's implementing the stuff, putting my project together. And after this is done, so far my success rate with doing it this way has been pretty good. I'll review all the code. I occasionally have to make changes, but generally, if you get your requirements spec'd out and you sit there and you work with Copilot, letting you ask questions and answer them, you get down to a point where it knows exactly what it is you want and it's able to generate the code. Now, doing this I've not tried this on an existing code base yet. But for just doing something like this. And this goes into something that I want to talk about of, as I'm ramping up on AI, keep hearing people talk about, they store their prompts and are reusing them. And I've always been like, why would you do that? I mean, these prompts I'm using here, CP, I mean, there's a strategy to the prompting I'm using, but I don't really reuse these prompts. But then along came Spec Kit, and I saw, okay, they've got these prompts, and it's the same prompt, and you keep running against it, and it's doing stuff. So we're going to get into that more as I go along, but I wanted to show, I realize I'm late to the AI game. I don't know where other people are. According to studies, AI adoption is not, wow, my camera for some reason waned. Not everybody is using it. For instance, my work, they have a few pilot projects, but, most people, I don't believe where I work are using this stuff very much, or if they do, they don't talk about it. It's not an official thing for my organization. But as I'm doing it for various scripts and putting together conditions in New Relic, this thing's been pretty helpful in helping guiding, give me feedback and help me figure out, okay, here's the stuff to put together. And part of the thing I'd also say, the requirement file that I've written, if I gave it to a person and had, said, hey, I want you to build this, it's detailed enough that I think a person would be able to go, okay, and go off and build it. And, in other cases, when it's all done, is it done yet? Nope. When it's all done, I have an MVP. Is it the finished project? No, because I'm still kind of figuring this thing out. My idea here is I've wanted to build a thing. The reason I'm calling it Bones is I wanted to put together a skeleton of a project for me. And so in this repo, so let me go, I'll bring it up. So I've made this public, so I'm sharing it with you. I have the constitution I put together that I'm using in this app I'm putting together using Spec Kit. And then I have my editor config, my git ignore, which is huge, but for .NET development, it's pretty much spot on. I then have a Copilot instructions file that kind of lays out some basic things. This will evolve over time. And then I have a prompts thing, which right now I just stole these from Spec Kit. I'll be changing them as I figure out what prompts I want for my purposes to help me with my workflow. Hold on, .NET Build. So we allow it. So I don't have my agents set up where they just get to go off and do stuff. It's not that I don't trust it. It's just I like being involved and not being a total passenger in the development process. But I've got to say, as I've done this stuff, it's made a lot of this stuff fun, and it's taken the drudgery out of some aspects of the development process. So I can focus on, okay, I want to do this. And like I said, I was sitting there, I want to pull stuff out of that Git repository, but I don't want to clone the repository into my project. And so, doing a wget or a curl, doing things like that, invoke web request to pull a file out of a repo and put it on my file system. It's like, well, how can I do that? And Copilot's like, yeah, you can do it like this. And so I'm switching back and forth between Visual Studio Code, or I guess Visual Studio Code or GitHub Copilot and Microsoft Copilot. And I'm using both of them back and forth all the time. So as I continue, adopting more and more of these AI applications into my workflows, and I'm trying to get it where I'm using it outside of, but the problem is like work, I don't think that'd be too cool with me giving Copilot access to my work accounts and stuff, which is too bad. I could really use an agent that reminds me that I'm 5 minutes late to my daily stand-up, as kind of happened today, because I was trying to figure out how to monitor a MuleSoft application. So anyway, that is the workflow I go through. It's generated the app. That's interesting. It did it. Well, no, it did create services. Damn. Okay, so made a command line parser for me, a console service. Oh, cool. Okay, so I see what it's doing. It's like actually setting colors because I said I wanted my error messages to be red. Right, success. Okay. File download service. So response, get async. Very cool. So I've got to start. I'll continue working with this thing, and I'll check it in and share it with you guys. But as I said, this is kind of the workflow I've kind of developed as I'm going along, learning my way around these things. If you made it this far, appreciate it. I'd love it if you gave me a like and subscribe. There's going to be more of this stuff coming, and y'all have a good afternoon. Oh,